Okay, grade 6. This is the continuation of our topic, the final process of our digestive system. So here in this question, assess your understanding. 1A, explain how are the liver and then the pancreas involved in digestion. Remember that the liver makes the the liver makes the bile and then the pancreas makes the enzymes. Bile and then the enzymes are juices produced by the liver and then the pancreas that helps the food to become the nutrients. Without these two, the food that we partake will never be a nutrients in our body. And then letter B, relate the cause and effect. How do the villi help the small intestine carry out its function? Remember that these two juices, the villi and then the enzymes, makes the food into nutrients. Once the nutrients is now available, the villi is responsible for delivering the nutrients to our cell. So the structure increases the surface area for the absorption. So this area, this area of villi, this is the area where nutrition of our food transport or delivered in our body cells. The more we have the villi in our large intestine, the larger the surface of the villi, the more absorption of nutrients is happening. Now, let's proceed to the next process of the final digestion, which is happening in the large intestine. What does the large intestine do? By the time the material reaches the end of the small intestine, most nutrients have been absorbed. The water and the undigested food that is left moves from the small intestine going to our large intestine. As you can see in figure 3 here, it shows here. Let's identify the different kinds of nutrients listed in the table. So you have carbohydrates, fats, and protein. So these three have kinds. Carbohydrates have two kinds, which is the simple and then the complex carbohydrates. While fats have three kinds, which is the saturated, unsaturated, and trans fat. The kinds of protein are complete and then the incomplete. So what is this for? Carbohydrate is for our energy. We have a long-term energy and then a short-term energy, which is we can get from simple and complex carbohydrates. We have discussed this in the previous topic last week. While saturated, unsaturated, and trans fat gives us energy, at the same time it protects our organ, and then at the same time insulate. Insulate meaning it keeps our body warm. That is the meaning of insulate. Now, what is protein for? Protein is for our energy also, for our body growth, and then for the tissue repair. So imagine, girls, if the small intestine is not processing the nutrients in our body, we will be missing a lot of this one. I will repeat, if our small intestine is not processing the chemical digestion, which is the breaking of food into nutrients, we will miss energy, we will miss the protection of our organ. We will be cold because our body don't have fats that will insulate our body. At the same time, we don't have protein that makes our body growth, and at the same time, our tissue will not repair. So we are in trouble if our organs are not functioning very well. Now let's go to the large intestine here. It says the materials moves through the large intestine. Water is absorbed into bloodstream and then the remaining material is readied for eliminating the body. So the large intestine is responsible for eliminating the body waste. What body waste? The solid body waste. So after the small intestine process, all materials that is not needed by our body is pushed through to large intestine. The large intestine now is processing to release those materials. Okay, so we have here two parts, the rectum and then the anus. The large intestine end in a short tube is called the rectum. So, if you can see here, the last part, by the way, in some book, they call large intestine as colon. Okay, so this is the large intestine. The large intestine is measured 1.5 meters. And then the end part of the large intestine is called the rectum. And then the end part of the rectum is called the anus. So anus, this is a muscular opening where the solid waste is released. So in other words, this is the place where your poop is released. Sorry for the word, but that's it. Okay, so I will repeat. This is the small intestine. The small intestine process the food to become the nutrients, and then the villi, remember the villi, the lining of the small intestine, delivered the nutrients, and then after all the nutrients is absorbed in our body, there are some body waste or food waste that is not absorbed by our body. So it will go here to our colon or large intestine. So this is 1.5 meters. So after that process, it will go here to the end part of your large intestine, which is called rectum. After that one, it goes to your anus, which is all solid food waste will be released here. Okay, now let's make a short summary about digestive system process. It will start in our mouth. Next is to our food pipe, which is also called as esophagus. I will write here food pipe for your easy understanding. And then it will go to our stomach. Once the stomach starts the process of chemical and mechanical process, it will go now to our small intestine where chemical process is happening more, which is the liver and then the pancreas help the small intestine to process the food nutrients. And then after that one, the large intestine will process the waste product of our food. And then after that one, it will be released in rectum. And then I will add here the anus. Okay, so that is the digestive system process. So here is a short graphic organizer of our digestive system process. Mouth is doing the mechanical digestion. Next is the stomach. The mechanical digestion is completed and chemical digestion begin. Food becomes a thick fluid in our stomach. By the way, before it reaches the stomach, it will pass here in our food pipe, which is the esophagus. The next process to stomach is our small intestine where chemical digestion begins and nutrients are absorbed by our body. And then the last is the large intestine. Water is absorbed and then the remaining material is readied for the elimination. Okay, so in our last part of this chapter, assess your understanding, review what role do bacteria plays in the large intestine. Bacteria make some vitamins such as vitamin K. Remember in the video a while ago, it says there the large intestine boosts our immune system. But by how? By creating a vitamin such as vitamin K. Okay. Now, letter B. How does food become materials your body can use? I will repeat. How does food become materials your body can use? The digestive organs break down food into nutrients that can be absorbed in our body. Okay, so that is our end part of the digestive system. I hope you learn a lot, girls, because digestion, it plays the big role when it comes to absorption of our food. Without digestive system, we don't have energy, the food will not be processed properly, we don't have nutrients, we cannot survive without digestive system. So that's it, girls. If you have some question, you can send it privately in my WhatsApp or Intel setup. Thank you. Have a good day.